And continuing with the escalating Israel-Iran conflict, President Donald Trump has taken center stage with a major decision looming. In a statement delivered by White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt, President Trump said he will decide within the next 2 weeks whether or not the United States will directly join the ongoing war in the Middle East.
Regarding the ongoing situation in Iran, I know there has been a lot of speculation amongst all of you in the media regarding the president's decision-making and whether or not the United States will be directly involved. In light of that news, I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks." That's a quote directly from the president for all of you today.
Now, President Trump's stance remains vague because after the White House announcement, the president later told reporters, quote, "I may do it, I may not do it," end quote. The Trump administration has chosen to maintain strategic ambiguity, keeping its next move closely guarded. Press Secretary Leavitt repeatedly declined to answer questions about hypothetical scenarios, including whether the president would consult Congress or host Iranian officials at the White House.
The president is always interested in a diplomatic solution to the problems and the global conflicts in this world. Again, he is a peacemaker in chief. He is the peace through strength president. And so if there's a chance for diplomacy, the president's always going to grab it. But he's not afraid to use strength as well, I will add.
Still, the administration has emphasized that preventing Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon remains President Trump's top priority. Intelligence assessments have suggested Iran is dangerously close to achieving nuclear capability, something the president seems to believe despite earlier assessments from intelligence officials.
The president's top priority right now is ensuring that Iran cannot obtain a nuclear weapon and providing peace and stability in the Middle East. It is a fact, and the United States government maintains this fact, that Iran has never been closer to obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Meanwhile, speculation over a possible U.S. strike has only intensified. CBS reported that President Trump had already approved plans to target Iran, though he hadn't made a final decision. Sources suggest he's waiting to see if Iran is willing to abandon its nuclear ambitions before taking action. Reports also hint that a potential target could be the heavily fortified Fordo facility, a uranium enrichment site buried deep in the mountainside. Iran maintains, however, that Fordo is peaceful civilian use, but U.S. officials believe it could become a key player in Iran's nuclear progress. And only America, it is believed, has the capability to destroy it. Meanwhile, Iran has issued a clear warning against U.S. involvement. Iran's deputy foreign minister told the BBC that if President Trump chooses to step in, it would cause hell in the region, turning the war into a quagmire and dragging the U.S. into a conflict it doesn't belong in.
But if they would like to get into this war, President Trump will be remembered forever for a war that it was not his war, but dragged him. And this will be a quagmire, and this will be hell for the whole region.
Still, diplomatic channels are open as U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff has reportedly been in touch with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, holding multiple calls over the past week in hopes of finding a peaceful exit from the crisis. European diplomats are also working a parallel track and have met Iranian officials in Switzerland just today. With the death toll mounting and diplomacy hanging by a thread, the world now waits for one man's decision. Will Trump step in or stay out? The clock is ticking.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
$36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka kaiju.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
$4
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, Click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.